Welcome to the GXP podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody that has been listening so far, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts. We have a super cool episode today. I got my buddy Joe Sample with me. He's back. I mean, your stories were fucking awesome, to be honest with you. And I don't even know what to say here. I honestly don't know what to say, and I don't even know if I can press the right button here. But we got Larry Lawton, ladies and gentlemen. I knew it! No. Larry Lawton. If you guys do not know who Larry Lawton is, he's all over the place. He has a lot of connections with a lot of people. He robbed a lot of people, and now he's on the up and up right now. You got people looking to make movies about you. You got a book out right now that is amazing called Gangster Redemption that we definitely need to check out. Larry Lawton, thank you so much for coming on here, man.
I am glad to be here. Any way to help or highlight stuff for you guys, or just rap with you guys. Joe, of course, Joe. I know the real stories though.
You do know the real stories. I've been studying you. So first of all, how do you know Joe Sample? Like, this guy came out of nowhere a year ago, helping out local businesses all over Cedar Rapids, which everybody was devastated by COVID-19. And then we had the fucking derecho, and that destroyed our town. And then I have Joe Sample come on. He tells his stories. And then afterwards he goes, do you know this guy? And he showed a picture of you. And I said, yeah, I've seen him, but who is he to you? That's what I want to know.
Joe is like my nephew. I've been dating the same woman for 12 years, and that's his nephew. That's her nephew. Joe is her aunt, and so it's kind of like a quasi-nephew. Him and his brother Paul I know very well. They come to Florida, and Joe, when I found out what Joe was doing, I said, we got to help Joe. We got to push what Joe does because he's helping people. The bottom line of what I do now is I always end my videos on make the right choice. I made the wrong choices. Your audience don't know I was the biggest jewel robber in the United States. I robbed 15 to 18 million. I was with the Gambino crime family. Jeez. I went away for not telling. I beat a life sentence and got my law degree in prison. And when I got out in 2007. I said, we got to stop young kids from going to prison because it's a waste. I went to prison in 1996 and got out in 2007. I lost from 34 years old to 46 years old. Best years of your life, I lost. And all my fault. I never complain. I never tell somebody, oh, but bullshit. No, it was my fault. I was a bad guy. He didn't want to run into me back in those days. And now I like to help people. I like to make sure young kids got the right message. I was worth millions and millions, limousines, homes, boats, everything I owned. And it's still not worth it. You can't lose your kids for that long. You can't lose your family for that long. And then I got out and I said, there's too many young kids coming to prison and they think they're badasses and they're not. They come to prison, they think they're a tough fucking guy. They're not. Trust me, they're not. And I was in maximum security prisons. We had a murder a month for 18 months in one prison I was in. I was in Atlanta.
Jeepers.
The USP Atlanta, it's the United States Penitentiary Atlanta, was the worst prison in the country at the time. I went there from 97 to 99. And it was a zoo. I mean, I didn't think I would I've been stabbed twice. I've been shot. I had a wild life. So now I look to help as many people. If it's got a help angle, I want to help them. And I want everyone to make money. I want everybody to do the right thing because you have to. You got to pay the bills. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for people. But I also want to make sure there's a message at the end that says, hey, do the right thing. Open a door. I tell people at the end of a video, I say, listen, do one good thing a day, whether it's open a door for an old lady, carry a package to a car, go through a toll booth without this easy pass and just stop for 5 seconds and say to the guy, hey, thanks for doing that. You don't know if that guy was going to commit suicide, had a bad day, and he needed a little boost. And that's what, like I say, you guys do. You're promoting things. You're doing, helping people. Getting Joe on your show to show, hey, he's helping restaurants. I love what he did. I love what he did. And I got a free shirt out of it.
Kick off of what he's saying, and what I've seen in the community is I done a lot of pay it forward things. So I go to a restaurant, support it, and then I'll buy maybe $100 worth of gift cards, or I'll buy 20 coffees at this place. And what happens is you see those people come in and get a free, hey, you got a free meal on Joe or whatever, Be Like Joe. And they're like, smiling. You know, it changes. So you don't know how bad that day is, but something like that, just paying it forward a little bit makes a big difference for someone in a day.
I remember I was in an Arby's once and somebody paid for my meal, so I paid for the next person's. And like the kid at the window was so freaking excited. He's like, I've never seen this before. That was so awesome. Now let me ask you this, Larry. Did you think you were a badass when you were a kid? When you were with growing up in New York and the Gambino crime family, did you think you were a badass? Because you said a lot of these kids come into prison thinking they're badass.
Well, you know, I grew up in the Bronx and Brooklyn, two very tough places. We didn't have money. We didn't have any of that. So we were all hustlers. I was robbing cars at 15 years old, taking them to a chop shop and making $500 a car. We did a lot of crazy shit. And it wasn't about tough guys. We grew up on the streets.
Yeah.
See, we didn't go looking for trouble, but you didn't want to come into our neighborhood in trouble, you know, because you'd find it very easily. You know, we were all fighters. We all come from the streets. I remember playing basketball. My parents couldn't afford sneakers for us. So my dad was laid off. My mom was they had 5 brothers and sisters. We lived in a 2-bedroom bungalow. My dad had to build bedrooms in the roof. I was playing basketball in slippers. And then, you know, my father ended up working with the World Trade Center. He built the World Trade Center. That
Your
went
father
down.
did?
Yeah, well, he was the head guy with the tin knockers, sheet metal workers. That's you put up all the duct work. He was the head guy. He had 200 guys. I got a picture of me in 1971 on the 103rd or 4th story of the World Trade Center. They put a rope to me.
That's so cool.
I was born in 61. You know, I'm getting old. I'm 60 years old. And we crawled to the edge to, you know, and they had a rope around us. And my brother, and we got a picture of us.
That's
in the
crazy.
It was crazy, man. But then, you know, my dad used to pay off. He used to pay off the mobsters, you know, because New York is built on mob money. Don't think it's not. And I used to go around with him when I was 12 years old. And I used to go to the bars, and I learned how to gamble, and I was hanging out with mobsters. And, you know, I mean, the real guy, you know, the scar in the mouth. I mean, you know, central casting for mob stuff. And that's all you grew up with, you know, so you knew that. And that was all you knew. Now, we went to school. I didn't graduate high school. I ended up getting my degree in my high school diploma in the military. I went to the Coast Guard at 17 years old.
Nice.
But when I got out, I got hurt in the service. When I got out, it was right back into crime, right back into the thing I only knew.
That's what you know, man.
That's all I knew.
Easy money. Yeah.
Easy. And, you know, it was the people in those neighborhoods. Now, you're talking about a different time period. You know, the 70s, forget it, was big mobs. I mean, that was everywhere. And then even into when I got out of the service in 86, it was easy for me to get back into that thing. I started loan sharking and bookmaking, and I learned the business as a bartender and a bouncer. I used to bounce this card game that was, I mean, you want to talk hundreds of thousands of dollars down in a cellar. And you couldn't go down there. And they were playing dice.
Like a real cellar in New York.
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
Outside, you had to go in.
Yeah, you go down. Yeah, exactly. That's where I taught you. When you read my book, I tortured a guy with an iron. I said, you didn't want to know me when I was
threatened to burn his dick off.
Yeah, that's when he gave up where the money was. You damn right.
He did.
In my book, you know, they actually did a reenactment. Somebody did a reenactment. They're going to do a movie of that scene, and it's pretty close. I was pretty crazy, and I had no limits. You know, that I never thought I'd live to 50. To be honest, I really never did. And especially when I went to prison. I went to prison at 34. I never thought I'd get out alive.
Right.
Ever. And I lived that way. And it's a way that you start thinking. But when you get older, you start thinking a little bit different. Obviously, when I went to prison, and I have to talk, you know, Sammy Gravano wants to come on my show. I won't let him. People say, oh, you know, let him. He's growing. But he's not going to catch me, that's for sure. But I don't want to give him the platform because, not that, listen, I know he's a rat and everything else he did. He got the biggest breaks in the world. If anybody don't know him, look, I'm Sammy the Bull Gravano with the Gambinos. He told on Gotti, and he ended up...
Everybody.
He told on everybody. You know,
I know.
Now, there's a lot of people on the internet, everybody saying, oh, that, you know, John was going to kill him, and that all might be true. But what about the other 100 fucking guys he put away? And I know some guys he put away. So, and it's not that... Listen, I come from that old school. Your word means something. If I told Joe I would do a show, I'm going to do your show,
and
period.
You delivered, man.
I'm very, very big on a person's word. I don't care how much money you have in this world. I don't care who you are in this world. If you say something, you should do it. I believe that to this heart. If I shake your hand to do something, I expect both of us to honor our agreement. And I did that and I won't do that. I have people say, Larry, you're saying strong, you're the true deal. It is true because I don't want to give him the platform to help a guy that I know put people away. Now, what he does, I don't give a fuck. Years ago, I said I'd like to kill him, all this shit. I don't give a crap about that anymore. I really don't. You got to live with yourself. You got to go to bed at night. I go to bed. When I was in prison, people say, how did you do it? I was facing life now. And I had a 15-month-old daughter and a 7-year-old son when I went to prison. I had money, homes, boats, horses, everything.
Horses?
Yeah, I had horses. And it was funny because the government, I'll tell you some crazy stories. So the government offers me 3 years. Now I'm facing life. And I said no.
Because you had a rat.
Well, I would have had a rat.
Yeah.
And it's just about I tried to figure out how I could do it. And they're smarter than you think. And I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do it. And I went to prison and I got 4 12-year sentences because I beat a life sentence. I beat the gun charge.
Yeah.
And when I used to look in that stainless steel, that's what is a mirror in prison. It's not a glass mirror. It's stainless steel against the wall. And I used to always say, I have nothing because they took everything from me. But you know what? I got my word.
Yeah.
And it's held me true to this day, and it's made me successful. It made me able to do what I do. Even with the wise guys, they respect me because I never told on anybody. Nobody ever went to jail on my case. And I was one of the only men ever to go to prison on a RICO, which you know what the RICO is, Racketeering, Influence, Corruption Organization, with only me.
So here's the deal. I listened to your interview with Vlad. And you talked about a lot of these same things, and the best thing about you is you didn't fucking rat on anybody, and not a lot of people can say that.
It's hard. Everybody could say they won't. We call it facing the devil. When you're in front of that judge and your life could be over. I mean, forget it. It's nothing like you think, and you can still do it. That's facing the devil. A lot of people can't. And listen, there's guys I know who did, and I kind of almost feel bad for them, but I don't. It's a hard thing for me.
Sure.
But when they go to this extreme of putting people away, maybe they shouldn't have, or whatever they did. Listen, what do you care if something happened 10 years ago and you're telling on that too? And you're telling. See, Sammy even pissed me off because not only did he tell, and he kept his money, he kept everything.
Yeah.
He goes out to Arizona, he sells ecstasy, and he's now the big shot in Iowa. And he gets busted. He does 20 years. After they gave him the break of a lifetime, killing 19 people, and they give him 5 years. How do you justify that, government? It just blows you away. But I can't worry about other people's, how they live their life. I know I sleep great at night. I respect people. I want respect back. I want to treat people the way I want to be treated, and I will. And that'll never change. Money has nothing to do with my life now. Of course, you make money, you do this and stuff like that. But I don't run my life on money. I take care of my mom in a small house, and my mom's 88. My mom was there through my prison years, and now she needs me. And I built a studio in my house, and I take care of my mom. It's a small house.
That's important,
it's
man.
1,500 square feet.
Super important.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing. Just because you've done some things in life that other people call questionable or whatever they want to call it, if you can be, have redemption, I mean, even in the Bible and everything else, it's all in this book here, I'm sure. And that's what I love about you a lot, because I've been studying you for 2 weeks now, ever since Joe was like, hey man, this is a possibility. So I'm like, I need to know this guy. Like, I want to hear about Big Ben, the rat.
Oh, in Atlanta, that fucking rat, man. That scared the shit out of me, that rat.
Like a mafia rat. This was a fucking rat that was
fucking
4
thing,
feet
man.
tall.
That thing, I'm telling you, that rat. Big Ben, man. I ran up to it, hit my foot, and the fucking thing turned around and looked at me. Oh,
he almost
fuck.
kicked your ass.
Yeah, fuck this shit.
And that's the type of thing. It's like, I've always been fascinated with mafia movies my entire life. Scorsese, he's done a great job of it and everything, but it's glorified.
Totally glorified.
And I want to hear your story because it is real, and you should have a movie about you, man.
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of talks about that, and I want to do. See, I own everything. I own my book. I was offered $50,000 back years when I needed the money, and I didn't do it for some reason, and I'm glad because I own it all. But it's so true. People like glorify the mafia. They don't take care of shit. Nobody gave you money when you're in prison. Not only that, when the mafia started, people think, oh, they were good. They were fucking extorting from their own people in Little Italy in New York. They're
That's
going
why
around.
They came here.
Yeah, they were extorting their own people. They couldn't get loans, so they're giving them 300% loans, taking their business, taking their fruit stands. So, they're nice, good. I mean, obviously, The Godfather, all that makes it all, he's a good guy, didn't want drugs. First of all, the drug thing in The Godfather made me sick. We were making so much money. I had a partner. I was the robber. I was a booster and a robber and a muscle kind of guy. I had a partner there, who's the same age as me, and he's dead now. Great friend of mine. Now, he did the drug trade, like in the...
Sure,
yeah. And he was making a ton. He always wanted me to bring keys from Miami because I had a connection to get keys for 10 grand. And I never did it. I said, I'm not getting in that. It was something I didn't want to do. Because first of all, drugs, not even knowing it then, but you get in conspiracies with drugs. That's the problem with drugs. Once you take money for drugs, it's a conspiracy.
I always wondered why the mafia always tried to stay away from really heavy drugs.
They didn't. That's bullshit. The pizza connection was in '86. I was in prison with all those guys, Felipe Cozumel and the Gambinos, other Gambino, not Carlo Gambino, but the Gambino family. Sure. And they all were doing drugs. The pizza connection, they were sending drugs, heroin, from Italy into pizza shops in America, in Florida, in New York, in Jersey, and they were distributing the heroin out of the pizza shops. It's called the Pizza Connection. You can look it up. So they were doing that in the 80s and 70s. So what do you mean they weren't doing drugs? It's all bullshit. They made the money. They want to make like, I'm a fucking nice guy. We don't do drugs. You might not do them. Good for you. A lot of people don't do them.
They sold them.
They fucking sold them. They're making money.
Yeah.
You don't think every time we're giving our bosses envelopes of 30 grand, 40 grand. I used to give my boss, it's funny, Dominic, I'd come in, I'd give him an envelope for 40 grand. Hey,
That's a thick envelope.
Yeah, come here, kid. Come here. I'd have a bunch of diamonds too for me. Take a diamond or two, and they go, hey, be careful, kid. Be careful, kid. He's taking the fucking thing. What do you mean? Like, he's not, like, part of it. Of course he is. But, I mean, you needed to do that in that world. Not because I had to do that, but I needed to be with a family because the other people knew how big I was. They would take you and kidnap you. And trust me, if you had something I wanted it, I would get it. I love these guys. I'll never give it up. Trust me, if I had you in a chair in a basement in Brooklyn, you're going to give me whatever the fuck I
would. I sure would.
So would I.
I sure would. 100% I sure would.
So would I. Absolutely. You're right. Listen, I tell people, you get me that way. Yeah. Here, whatever you want. You want a blowjob too? I'll give you that. Whatever the fuck you want.
Whoa.
Larry, my point is, it's everybody thinks they're going to withstand that. You can't. And then, now I tell them, listen, that's going to happen. But if I get out of here alive, you're dead.
See, here's the thing, man. After I did my research on you, and I know you're a good dude, and you're doing a lot of great things now, I was nervous as fuck. But I was like, okay, I've watched all the movies and everything. Cool. If Joe Pesci showed up or Robert De Niro, I wouldn't be worried about it, But I was nervous as fuck, man. I was like, this guy, he could make a phone call and I could be dead.
It's funny because I still got a great word. Matter of fact, when I got out of prison.
Like, you were with the Gambino family. Like, you say you're not affiliated anymore, but come on, man.
You're making me laugh. When I got out of prison, I went away for not telling. So when I got out of prison, a couple of guys I know came to me and they said to me, hey, Larry, we got this thing going. I said, hold on, let me tell you something. I said, if I get back in, I'm going to kill 2 people. They looked at me, and I was serious. I said, if I get in, I'm killing 2 people. I don't know, because 3 could keep a secret if 2 are dead. That's a saying people actually type on it. 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead.
What the fuck, Joe?
But I told him that. I said, listen to me. I'm not getting. I lost too much. My dad had Alzheimer's. I was taking care of my mom. I have kids now that I was very close with. I still am very close with my kids. And I says, I'm not getting back into this game because I know where it's going. I know the ending is either dead or in jail again or whatever. And they're going to target me and they're going to do a lot of things. I know that. And it's not even that. I didn't want to do that. I don't want to make a living like that. You're smart enough to make a living other ways. There's a lot of different ways people can make a living. And it's not about making that crazy. Yes, I had crazy money. And I used to I blew $250,000 in a casino in 2 weeks. I blew $3 million in it.
I'm playing in a casino tonight. You want to
come? I played the other night.
Come?
I played the other night. I only play at $50 a hand, and
$50 a hand.
And it's funny because I said, I used to play $1,000, $2,000 a hand.
Oh my gosh!
Because you didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
When you're making money, that's just. I used to have a limit when my safe got under $50,000. I'm planning another robbery. And
oh my God!
And it was just Then I bought vending machine companies, and I bought bars, and I
you gotta
loaned
hide it.
shark
Yeah.
money. I did a whole bunch of shit. You did.
So let me ask you this. You know, when I listened to you on Vlad's podcast, you talked about how
And Vlad didn't have beer.
yeah,
Fuck Vlad.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Vlad? You only got 4.3 million fucking subscribers.
Yeah, I know. And you didn't even give me a beer.
Yeah. No, I got you bourbon too.
Hey,
Man.
be
bourbon,
like,
too. Look at this, everybody.
Be
Yeah,
like
there you
Joe
go,
has
man.
him.
Yeah.
I'm taking this with me.
You can. Yeah,
There
it's
you go.
for
You
you.
see that,
Yeah,
Joe?
I told you.
It's
yeah.
worth it. This podcast, we do this all the time.
Damn right. Damn right.
You can come every single year, Larry. You're
There you
always
go.
welcome at my house.
There you go.
Who needs a pit bull when you have Larry Lawton?
I want to say this too.
You know what I mean?
I really want to say this. You got a great setup, great
Thank you.
studio. I've been in a lot of them, and it's cozy. It's well done. You got a good team here with your editor and your team. I don't know who they are, but they're really good. The setup is cozy and comfortable.
Well,
and that
and-
means a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much. And here's the deal. Like I've done radio for 10 years and I miss being on the radio. And so this was my outlet for it because I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Absolutely.
And I get to have cool people like you and Joe on. And honestly, it was something that needed to happen. Like I listened to Rogan forever.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I do
know
too.
everybody in the city, right? So it's not a big market, but I am the goddamn Joe Rogan of Cedar Rapids. And if anybody wants to fucking challenge me, I got Larry Lawton that's gonna beat your fucking ass.
Amen, brother.
It's true what you do, and it is an outlet. What I found, and when I started YouTube, actually, I have a whole program coming up with some marketers in Vegas and all the shit we're doing, how to do YouTube, why to do it, we've studied it. I studied everything. I was in days and days and days understanding YouTube, understanding algorithms, understanding the whole works. But it all came back to what can you do with good people to help people, and that ultimately, I get so many emails. Hey, Larry, you helped me through depression. You helped me through the pandemic. You helped me through whatever. And Joe, what Joe does to me, and that's why I got his shirt on, and I love what he does. And I wish there were more Joes around the whole country. And what and he's got that gift too. He's got a gift, and he's got such a good following with this. And obviously, he's not a tech guy like I'm not. You think I know what, you're tech people. You know what I know for tech? I talk, you put it up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's about all I know. I can understand it. I did it in the beginning. I started with an iPhone, and I said, let me just try this. And it's a funny story how I started YouTube. I got screwed by Vanity Fair, and I'm the past Vanity Fair. How's that? Vanity Fair's got Vanity Fair's got 2.4 million subscribers. I got 1.2. We're gaining 30,000 subscribers every month.
Yeah.
And Vanity Fair hires, they hire me. They call me up and they say, hey, Larry, we want you to do a video on mob movies and robberies. I said, okay, sure. They fly me to New York. They do everything. But they said, we can't pay you. But what we'll do is if we get 150,000 to 180,000 views, we'll discuss a contract with you. I says, okay. And how views work on YouTube is usually in a 3-week span is what they do. So I said, okay, great deal. I said, I'll go up. They paid everything, did all that stuff. They still owed me money at the end, but I go on there, do the thing. What a setup they got. The World Trade Center, the new Freedom Tower.
Yep.
They got the whole 24th floor, it's all studios.
Oh, my gosh.
Unbelievable setup, because they got all the money in the world.
But not like this, though. I mean,
no, this is more comfortable. They have Con-Nest Travel owns them. That's the biggest company. It's a very big company. So I do this video. We get home. Now, I know a lot of people in the industry, in the media industry and stuff. So the video comes out. In 3 weeks, it gets 1.5 million views.
Whoa.
So I'm saying, okay, I'm waiting for a contract. I was going to sign a contract, maybe 20 grand a month, and then I go up to New York and stuff. They never called. They never do anything. I said, oh, fuck. I'm getting madder and madder. My buddies in the industry called me. Man, did they call you yet? Did they call you yet? No. I said, fuck. So people was finding me somehow. I had no YouTube. I started a YouTube channel right there.
Yeah.
I start getting people going, boom, boom. I said, I got to do something different. I took my book and I narrated my whole book on YouTube, and it is called Gangster Redemption series in my playlist. And it is the most watched playlist right now on all of YouTube, right now, because people love the way I did it. I actually narrated. We even had a bunch of things differently. We started out, I was reading it like a fucking jerk off. Here I am reading it. Who likes to fucking read to begin like that? I'm a reader, but who wants to read out loud like that kind of shit?
I would listen to you.
But I did it differently. I ended up narrating every chapter. I know that I wrote the book, so what I did was I took the chapters and then I went over the chapters in my own way.
So you can go on YouTube and so you can
you
read
can listen
this,
to the whole book,
and then you can listen to you narrate
the book.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and nobody's ever done that. Nobody ever did that.
That is huge, man.
Nobody did that. So we did that. It starts blowing up. And I'm going, and the big thing in YouTube is you're waiting for 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers. That's when you become monetized.
Yeah.
And we're waiting, and it happens quick. And then by, I think it was January 2020, sometime late January 20, I became monetized. So I've only been really doing this monetization for about a year and 3 months or 4 months, whatever it is. And so it started blowing up. Vanity Fair, I fucking do a thing, Vanity Fair. I said to them,
they know where this is
listen,
going.
you're gonna listen to this. So Vanity Fair calls me up, and when I went up there in New York, I did 2 videos for them, but they couldn't use the second video without my permission. That was in the contract when I did the 2 videos.
Okay.
So they just sent me an email out of the blue, say, please sign for the second video. I go, what fucking balls on these people?
Yeah.
They still owe me $491. I wrote back. Of course, me, fucking a nut.
Not 492,
491. I ended up looking up on LinkedIn the COO, the CEO, all of Con-Nest Travel. I email them all with that thing. I reply, but I email them all. I says, not nicely, not only no, I says, you guys are the most unprofessional company. You still owe me $491. You didn't do this. You didn't do this. Blah, blah. No, you have no permission, period, to do anything with me. At this time, I'm starting to grow like a son of a bitch. I'm loving
That's
it.
the most gangster thing I've heard you say.
So listen to this. So I ended up within a week, I get a check for $491.
Jesus.
I really do. I get a check for I didn't even know what it was. I said, where am I getting a check for $491? I got the check, and I'm laughing, and I heard that a few people were fired over the whole thing, but I mean, it doesn't do me any good. But they couldn't buy me for $30,000, $40,000 a month because it's not worth it. Because one, I own everything I do. Number one,
Which is awesome.
it's great to have that control.
Yeah.
When you do it, and everything we go and the fans we have and the people who write you and help you, it's amazing. It's just a great thing.
Brian said, when I was asking to see if you get on there, he's like, well, do I have to go through anyone? I said, no, Larry's his own man. He's the man.
And I have to ask those questions because I've been in the industry for 25 years. And
You're
I'm like,
100% right.
So if he puts this on his YouTube channel, who do I got to talk to make sure that this is cleared? And Joe goes, no one. And I'm like, fuck yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm 100% down for it because my son does all my production and everything.
And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of you.
We're self-owned.
Good for you guys,
Yeah.
man. I say that. I have a great team. I have a manager who built the company to $30 million. I grew up with him. I grew up with the guy, and he built the company. He invented affiliate marketing, and he's my manager. And he's I love the guy. My editor, he found me, and I got my son and a couple people. That's it. Very small. But we have meetings like you do, Zoom meetings and whatever we do, and they know how I am. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it anyway, whether we try it or this. Because the reason we're growing, a lot of people slow down growth. The reason we're not slowing down growth is because we expanded, not just prison. Yeah. We do movie reviews. We do Q&As. We do podcasts. We have a podcast. We got 1 million downloads, whatever it is. So we're doing different things to find, like I'm doing a crypto thing. I'm doing everything. Yeah. So we're trying to expand so we're not stale. Now, of course, you're not going to, some people want me just to do prison stories. Some people want me to just do robbery stories. Some people want me to
sure.
But no, everybody, it's a big umbrella.
Right.
And if you have to expand your umbrella, if you don't, you're going to keep to a niche, which is okay. A lot of them do. But the ones that really grow, whether it was like Rogan, my lawyer says to me, he goes, we got an offer. He goes, Larry, we got an offer. A lot of these companies now are trying to compete online. He goes, well, at $6 million, he goes, why do it? Are you bored? I said, no. Do you like what you do? Yes. He goes, you're more than 10% of Joe Rogan already. Joe Rogan started in 2013. He's great. I'd love to go on his show. He's great, and I like the way he interviews.
And you will be.
I will.
You will
and we're
be
gonna
on
party
show.
like a motherfucker when I'm on his show. I'll get fucking stoned with him.
He'll let you smoke weed in his studio.
Yeah. Oh fuck, I will
got my
too.
son here. I can't let you.
Yeah, right.
Well, you can.
No,
but...
he can. He'll give me the shit. He probably got better shit than we do. But come on, he's 16. No, I always say with kids, I do promote this though.
You got a 16-year-old.
I do promote this. I tell young kids with weed. I'm a proponent of weed. I think it should be legal. I saw people in prison for that
It
shit.
will be.
It's wrong,
Yeah.
of course. But no, I tell them with kids' brains are not developed. I think there has to be a limit and all that. But anyway, we're 10% of Joe Rogan already. Why would I do it? He sold for $100 million. He's $100 million.
He pays you $35,000 an episode. He gets $70,000 an episode.
Well, I know he signed for $100 million.
Right.
And I don't like. Why would I sign for less than $10 million if I'm already 10% of him earlier?
Go on his show for $35,000.
I didn't know he gives you $35,000.
Yeah.
I'll definitely go on. I'll fly myself.
He'll fly you out there. Elon Musk has been on there.
I'll take.
I know he smoked weed with
I
Elon
know.
Musk. Yeah,
Everybody
that's
was
pretty cool.
freaking out about that. They're like,
They do ayahuasca. They do ass and mushrooms. They're fucking
I know.
crazy.
Him and
those
all
guys.
his comedian buddies. Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
Like after they get done with their sober October, they do a bunch of mushrooms
listen,
and everything.
Joe Rogan was smart. You know, we were the fastest growing channel on YouTube, non-celebrity, meaning like you're not talking about like Arnold Schwarzenegger open up or something like that. Non-celebrity, we were the fastest growing channel on YouTube. And people ask, how do you do it? You got to be real. You got to be real. You have to have, obviously, the story or whatever you do and what you do. And don't fucking hold back. I know some people will say, oh, fuck, I would never let my kid listen to that because, I don't believe it. Okay, then don't fucking listen to me. It's a big world out there. There's 7 fucking billion people on this planet. I think 4 billion have fucking YouTube. I mean, YouTube's the biggest platform in the world, period. Not even close.
Correct.
And it's only growing. Growing.
So Larry, again, thank you for coming on my podcast.
Don't thank me. I'll do it again.
What made you come down to my humble abode here in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and
Joe Sample. Let's go to Joe.
Yes,
Let's go to Joe. He's got my hat on though. I got
I tried to buy one and I had to buy it from Germany.
Yeah. What do you mean from Germany? I don't get that.
I went online to try to buy it and like have it expedited here so I could have it for the fucking show.
Shit, I'll get him a shot. I would have brought him a hat.
And then it was in this German website. It was all in German, and I was like,
No.
And I was like, I'm not gonna buy this.
We use Teespring.
I know.
On our
That's
platform.
what it was. It was Teespring, but it's in a German platform. I swear to God, yeah.
I gotta fucking ask my manager about that.
Yeah, because I was trying to get one of those because on this green screen behind you here that if you're listening to this, you're not going to see this, but then the video part of it, it's going to be your logo in the back.
Oh, cool.
Right on this green screen back here.
Do you like our logo?
Yes, I love it, man. It's
my editor designed that.
Yeah, it's so good.
The crooked diamond, obviously.
Yeah.
And now we just, we got all the shit and shirts and hats and all that kind of crap.
So Xander's going to do that for you. He's going to have it on the green screen, but we got Joe Sample here who made this motherfucking shit happen because thank you, man. Oh my God. Like, this is so cool. You guys, that's your step uncle. I guess?
call him my uncle.
Yeah,
but,
that's what you've always said.
So I was in Florida about a month ago, and we did a big YouTube post on Be Like Joe.
I seen it.
Yeah. So he was like, I want to make this across the board, and it's more like this morning. I went to a Rotary in Cedar Rapids and I was a guest speaker for the Rotary at Cedar Rapids at Cedar Rapids Country Club, and it's just about getting the word out of helping local places. And one of my big things is paying it forward. Paying it forward, like either whether it's buying 10 cups of coffee for the next people in there, makes a person's day. Some people might be having a bad day. All of a sudden they hear, oh, my coffee is free. Something little like that can make a person from...
I got to ask you that. We know that part. How did you start Be Like Joe? Like, I know what it's about. Be Like Joe to let everybody know.
Money. He took his stimulus money.
But Be Like Joe was going to local restaurants and help support them because they were down for the COVID and they were locked down. Someone had just delivery or whatever. Everyone should understand that. What made you do that? Like, there had to be something in your heart or something in your spirit that said, I got to help somebody. Like, you're not a media guy. You're not a YouTube guy like myself or whatever. And what made you do that?
I've been in local Cedar Rapids my whole life. My wife lost her job at the salon and at Emo's Hideaway. And a lot of other people that are friends with me that owned restaurants were dying. They didn't know what to do. They're losing everything, right? They
you
were
a fat fuck back then too. A year ago, you were a big fat.
He looks good.
Doesn't he look good? Making me feel bad, man. I got so fat.
I was the heaviest I weighed this fall.
I'm 245,
after COVID. Heaviest I weighed, and I was at a point where either I had to buy new clothes or lose some fucking weight. So
No, but when he was with me, he was sucking it in. Yeah.
Of course so.
I said, "Fucking Joe, you look good." He goes, "Yeah, I look good. Give me that picture." You remember that?
That was a good picture.
Excuse me.
So my brother lives in Florida with Larry now, Paul Sample, and he's these guys hang out together and stuff. I flew back Thanksgiving. We had a great fucking time with all of our family and stuff, and he's like part of the family. I mean,
Well, he is your family.
Yeah, he's been dating my aunt for fucking 12 years. And
13 November, yeah.
And I tell you what, right before we came to your show today, he stopped over at my house, and my daughter Devin, who's 11 years old, fucking loves him.
Oh, yeah.
Loves
How
him.
could you not love this guy?
Yeah.
I mean,
We have fun. I love
did,
kids.
He did a TikTok for her, and like
Oh,
in
cool.
3 minutes there was like 300 likes. So she it blew her world out of the
yeah.
world. But anyways, yeah. But the whole deal is, paying it forward, helping local people out, and just supporting local. There's so many. I went to over 200 restaurants in Cedar Rapids.
Yeah,
I
you
never
did.
knew. Usually you have 6 or 7 places you go to, and that's it. So everyone reach out and try a different place. Go 2 or 3 times more than you're going right now.
You've done an amazing job of helping the local community here.
But so have you by helping him pass the word.
Yeah, and
you know
I
what I mean?
get
It's
people
all
out
a team effort. I always say that my team, everybody's team.
So Amanda Ray Campbell was on here, and she was my #1 listened to podcast until Joe Sample.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Joe Sample surpassed that.
Well, we're gonna pass you, Joe. We're gonna get.
I know we
I'm a
will
poster.
today.
I'm
know
a
this
posters.
was-
I'm gonna have my team on there.
No,
Posters.
I mean, I only have 5,500 subscribers. Okay, for this town, whatever. I don't
That's
have
good.
a huge budget.
Remember,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
could say that, but that multiplies.
Yeah.
I mean, 5,500 is really
Right.
times 4. Is what they say.
Larry told me when I was there a month ago when we did the YouTube thing, he's like, Joe, I'm going to be down there for 1 day for you for your birthday, which today's my birthday. Happy
Yes.
birthday,
Happy
Joe.
birthday,
Yeah.
Joe Sample.
Happy birthday to Joe. I'm in an RV. I have a 38-foot RV.
You drove up here?
Yep, I have
no shit.
I have a 38-foot RV I travel in.
That's
and
a
it's
big
beautiful.
Fucking
Oh, it's
incredible.
huge.
I saw it
It's got
today.
two-
Unreal.
It's got 2 bathrooms and king-size bed.
Who has 2 bathrooms in an RV, right?
Yeah, 4 TVs.
One to
all
shit
this
in and one to
shit.
piss in.
Well,
4
would you
TVs.
expect anything different?
Yeah.
But and I love it. And when we were doing this trip, Teresa's from Iowa, so I said, okay, we'll stop in Iowa. And when I knew I was stopping in Iowa, I said, Joe, we got a party for your birthday and hang out and whatever. And he goes, yes, definitely. And then he said, hey, you got a friend? I said, sure, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, we're going to do. It's your birthday. And he does it because he wants to help more and more people. That's just his heart.
Yeah.
And you don't get that. Most people just want to, and I do get some people get, either overwhelmed, but he's not. He understands his community like you do. You understand your community. But I do think with your show, I love this fucking set. Whatever you do, you need to expand. I think people need to expand.
He's so humble with everything, and he gets a lot of attention now. He is Cedar Rapids famous, right? He's probably more Cedar Rapids famous than I am, which
I don't know about that. You aren't all the time. Right?
either
How
which
often do you
this
air?
is episode 68.
I mean, how often? Is it once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week?
I started in 2019, so we have 68 episodes in 2 years.
I'm trying to think. We got we post 3 times a week. But
Yeah.
Now we started it once a week, obviously.
Right.
And then we upped our game, and it's work. I love people think, oh, it's not. You know how much work it is. Your
it's a
son
ton of
knows how
work.
much work it is.
He works his ass off.
I'll bet he does. And I'll tell you what, I'm proud of your son. I don't know him, but he's good.
Yeah.
And I love that he's doing it.
But I've been
for you.
DJing 26 years now. I've been on the radio 10 years. And when I met Joe, he didn't know me from anybody when he came to here. And it was weird at first. And then he loosened up and was like, okay, cool. And he told me all his stories. And I love this guy. He is now my friend. And I remember being out with my friends here and there, because I don't go out very much. I'm a homebody. And people are like, that's Joe Sample. That's Joe Sample. And I was like, who the fuck is Joe Sample? Wait a minute. My friends are telling me who this guy is? He's Cedar Rapids famous. And he's famous for a great reason. Not because he's trying to get money.
Right.
Because he's helping everybody. And this is what it's all about. I love this.
You're 100% right. And most people do, if you do things because you want to do it with passion and everything else. I've never, even myself, I never looked at it. Now, the money does come in. I'm not crying about it.
Yeah, you're good.
But I love that, I told my team, I said, no matter what we do, we have to end on positive notes.
Yeah.
We have to do things outside the box, whether it's podcasts or it's this or whether we're not going to look at, like, I know when I get 50,000 views in a day, I know it's going to be a big one. So most of them will get 20, 30,000, 15,000, depending, which is a lot, but it's,
That's a lot.
Yeah. In a day. I'm talking in a day or two or whatever it is. But I don't look at it like that. I look at it like, where is the positivity? And you have to be willing to try different things.
100%.
Like I've done videos where they don't do that good at all, and I says, that's good. It's experience. We see what doesn't work, what works. We do analysts. We have analytics that are very good. You can really do analytics. And when you follow your analytics and then you slowly start, like, my audience is perfect. My audience is 18 to 45, which is 85% male. That's why advertisers love
you.
That's why advertisers love me.
Yeah.
Because it's 18 to 45.
Right.
You're talking about male, 96% male, 18 to 45. That's like advertisers' dreams. And we have that. Now, I don't want to go away from it, but I want to keep expanding it, maybe 18 to 55.
Sure.
And it's hard. It's hard because, yeah, I think so. It's hard, though, because what an 18-year-old likes, a 50-year-old looks at him and says, what the fuck is that?
No, but your stories are so interesting, Larry.
Oh, his stories are great.
Yeah.
I watch them all the time. I mean, his stories, how can you not be attracted to someone that's been in the experience of a prison and has all those stories, and then now he's helping young kids make the right decisions
100%.
So they're not in his shoes 10 years down the road.
I don't want anybody to get to go to prison to think it's a joke, because it's totally not. Oh, come on. I was strapped down naked, beaten. Did you read my book?
I did.
I'm reaching out to him. I tell you what, I called him.
So many of your
my Aunt Jackie started dating him, and I called out for my son.
Boy, Teresa's going to get mad at that.
I'm going to read this.
Teresa. I'm sorry. So Teresa... So she started. So I had my son in high school, as normal. A high school kid does crazy things, right? Nothing out of the normally. But I reached out to Larry thanks to Teresa. She's like, "Hey, talk to Larry." And obviously, he's a big name. And I'm like, I'm blessed to have this. He sent me the book down for my son to read, and we had a conversation and stuff because we were struggling, with just the general things of kids, and it really helped. I mean, his book helped. He read. My son was. I mean, he got a 28 on his ACT. I think I got like a freaking 21. So he's a smart kid, and he loved reading books. And he read his book, and you know what? It made a difference. So
I'm gonna read it, and I don't read books.
Do you know the book? Let me tell you about the book quickly. I did the book with an 8-time New York Times best-selling author, Peter Golenbuck. It took us 2 years to write it, and that book is 100% true. There's no fluff. There's no bullshit.
You're looking me straight in the eyes and telling me
I'm
that.
telling you. And not only that,
we got to read this.
It's a very hard read. What I mean by that, it's an easy read, but I was a bad guy. I really was. And the first 5-7 chapter, whatever it is, you're gonna learn. You're gonna know how to rob a jewelry store. You're gonna know how to do bad things, but you have to open yourself up to the being abused as a kid, to everything that happened to me. So it's a very hard book in the beginning, but everybody. I'll give a quick story. I just talked to him this morning. A judge friend of mine. I was golfing with the judge, and the judge gets the book, and he says to me one day, we're at a big function. He's a great friend of mine. He goes, Larry, I read your book. You only got convicted for 10% of what you did. He goes, but your turnaround is what made me wanna. My book or my program, I have the reality check program, is used in court systems.
Yeah.
It's literally kids get sentenced to my program.
And you're an honorary police officer.
I'm the only ex-con in the United States who's an honorary police officer, and the only ex-con in the United States who's recognized on the floor of the United States Congress. Yeah. That's not in the book, because the book ended in 2012, and that happened in 2013. Actually, Missouri, the head of law enforcement for the whole state of Missouri swore me in Lake St. Louis, which is right outside St. Louis, at a police department. Great guy. They came and vetted. And I wouldn't go with any police department, because any police department that doesn't want to help and they just want to arrest, go fuck yourself. Cops cops need to be more proactive with helping, not just arresting.
How many bad cops do we have out there? God damn.
It's a shame. It's a shame, but there's good cops too.
There's a lot of good cops.
There's a lot of great cops.
There's good cops.
Yeah.
But it's a shame. Here's the problem I have, and I tell police departments all the time, and I train them, is who the bad fucking guys are.
Yeah.
Why aren't you cleaning your own house?
Yeah. 100%.
Listen, if you got a company of 100 people, you know who the fucking slackers are. You know who the people are bad
It's
are.
usually a small amount. And
Very
you just gotta
small
clean
amount,
that small
but they got to
amount
clean
out.
themselves.
Yep.
The minute they cover for them, they become the bad guys themselves. Because why should you arrest me for pot or whatever you're going to arrest me for when you're not arresting your fucking butt? Oh, that's the biggest, stupidest fucking thing in the world.
I know how you feel about that. But.
Well, you know, it's not that. Listen, I have a medical marijuana card and all that to be, level. It's not even that. It's everything. I think everything is responsible. If you told any kid today, people ask me why I have the highest success rate with kids in the whole country. I have a program called the Reality Check program, and I didn't do these numbers. A college came in and said, "Could we get your dad? And we want to do a quantitative analysis on your program." I said, "Sure." So I gave him the dad. It came back. We have the highest success rate of any program in the country. And people ask me why. I said, because I never tell a kid don't do something.
Yeah.
I tell a kid, if you do this, this can happen, or this will happen, or this might happen. Whether it's your son, I don't say to your kid, don't do something. Because the minute you tell a kid don't do something,
they're gonna do
they're
it.
gonna fucking do it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And how about us when we were younger?
Here's the thing. What I'm finding crazy now that I have two teenagers. His
Oh, you have another one. Okay.
14. I got a daughter. I got a son and daughter.
Same with me. Son and daughter.
We've talked about this, right? They know how I feel about pot. They know that I think it should be legal, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But
they're also 16.
Well, I work for a store called Hy-Vee. It's a big grocery chain here, biggest grocery chain.
Big local grocery chain, awesome.
Really?
Support local. You buy from there. They have great steaks, everything. Yeah.
I run the wine and spirits department.
Oh,
the alcohol.
I'm liking that.
Yeah. So here's the deal.
I gotta go there.
And I've worked with them since 1998.
Wow.
And I've worked with a lot of young people, and every young kid that I come in contact with within the last 10 years, they're like, we don't want to drink alcohol anymore. Because the repercussions are so strong and so big, and it makes you fat, is what they say. They're like, we smoke weed, we eat weed now.
Edibles, sure.
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm not even mad about it. Like,
yeah, but see, even alcohol, I tell young people, they ask me.
Alcohol's horrible for you.
Oh, alcohol's the same drug. Anybody who says we shouldn't have pot, I go right to the alcohol. Should we have alcohol? If they say yes, then I said, then you're fucked up, because alcohol's actually worse than pot. But
the government had to make that legal in order to make money off of it, because they could not regulate it from 1920 to 1920 or 1932. And they tried to. And the same thing's happening with the marijuana.
But here's the problem, and I don't mean a problem. I don't believe kids should be smoking pot. And they look at me and they go, what do you mean? I'll tell you why. There has to be a number. Because first of all, we all know, psychologists or people in my business who work with young people know, the male brain does not develop until it's 25. That's fact.
And they shouldn't smoke weed till then.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, whatever number we put. I don't believe we should be taking kids at 20 years old and putting them in Afghanistan and killing somebody. And all of a sudden they come back and we don't help them. You know they're going to be fucked up.
100% true.
You know they're going to be fucked up. But you got to have some number. So whatever the number is going to be, 21, 20, whatever it is, because some are different. But the female brain matures at 23. At what point do we say, I mean, at 16, 15, then they don't even understand fucking jacking off yet. I mean, really think about it. I love kids. I know
that's what you got put in the hole for.
You know that. Oh, yeah, I did. I actually got put in a hole for fucking jack. Can you believe that shit? But I won that case.
I know. You sued the...
I sued the prison.
The penal system.
I get put in prison for masturbating. In my cell, alone, fucking in my bed, and I fucking...
At 1 a.m.
At 1 a.m. Like, who doesn't jack off in prison? I don't give a shit who, if you're a female or a male. Who the fuck doesn't jack? Anyway, they were really after me. I found out later. Yeah. I've done shows. You ever listen to my show with the guard, Massey?
No, I haven't yet.
There was a guard. Listen to this. I get a fucking. My son gets a message on Instagram. Says my dad was your dad's prison guard, and he says he knows you, and he was a good guy. And this guy Massey, he ends up going to prison himself. This guard does.
What?
For bringing in creatine and
Jesus.
creatine and something. I forget what it was.
That's just not a
but
big
anyway,
deal.
he shouldn't have went to prison. But he's a good dude. Actually, here's what happened. I made prison pasta. I don't know if you heard that episode. I make prison pasta with a stinger and how we did it in prison. And this one girl goes, Dad, I watched this meal you make us from this guy in prison. Massey says, That guy taught me how to make it.
No shit.
Swear to God. So you got to listen to the episode. It's a great episode. His name is Gary Massey. And I've interviewed him now 5. He's a great guy, and he talks about, he remembers how when I attacked somebody, and he remembers everything. And he says, listen to me. He goes, we're all the same. Meaning, like, the people, we're all the same, like us, and we are. He's a good dude. I respect him. He respects me. We see each other. I go to Georgia and I see him. I was in Jessup when I went crazy, and I go back to the penitentiary. I throw shit at a fucking a unit manager, and I'm fighting the whole prison. I ripping my shirt off. I was crazy, And Massey was in the lounge when it happened. He goes, "Oh, fuck that girl." He hated the lady that was attacking this unit manager, and he didn't even come around. Then he saw it was me, and he goes, "It's Lawton. He'll be all right. They'll take him to the hole." And they put me in the hole for I was in the hole for 3 years out of my time.
Yes. So let's talk about that real quick here. You were in the hole, which, if nobody knows what the hole or the shoe is, it is where you were in solitary confinement, completely with no lights except for what's on above you, mostly. Maybe some places have a window.
No, they have a window, but it's fogged out.
Yeah.
You can't see out of it.
So they put me in the hole when I was in jail for a month.
You don't want to tell your son now. Come on. Break it out. Break it out.
The reason why they put me in the hole is because they wanted a piss test, and I had pee fright.
Oh, yeah, that happened. That's legit.
And so I tried to take a shit. I couldn't pee. I was just
That is legit.
Yeah, and so they threw me in the hole because for 2 days. And then finally I was like knocking on the door, and I'm like, come on, let's do this. I got it. And nothing compared to 3 years for you, man. Like, I was in there 2 days in county and everything else. Like, so I understand, like, they'll throw you in there for fucking nothing.
Oh,
you got thrown in the hole for jacking off.
I got thrown in a hole for a friend of mine died, the worst one, when they started beating me. And a friend of mine, Jim Arch, never forget this in my life. I always say it's what's on my bracelet, I'll never forget. But Jim Arch used to sell a couple cells for me. And now he was having chest pains and down his arms, everything else. And he goes to the medical. They get out of here. Then his own guard that worked with, they call him CMS. He worked in the maintenance department of the prison. They send him to the hole. I mean, to the hospital, because he's hurt and he looks pale. He's stuff. He goes to the medical department. They give him Maalox to say, "You got gas, get out of here." He walks into the unit. Now, I'm sitting there with a guy named Jimmy Brown. We got 4 TVs. We're watching him. He walks in. He looks right at us, and he goes, "I'm dying." We grab him. We put him on a chair. He keels off the chair and dies.
What?
Dies right there from the medical department. So they come. Once that happens, we're screaming, and they're screaming, "Lockdown, lockdown, lockdown!" And when they say that, you got to go to your cell or whatever. So now my cell was two cells from the main door coming in on the ground floor. They come in, they get him. Now, I've seen many people die. When you die, you excrete yourself.
Sure.
Yeah. Right. So you'll piss or shit yourself, whatever it is.
Wait a minute. You've seen many people die?
Yeah, many. At least 20.
Now, I mean, I'm not trying to get into this, but holy shit, I've seen like 2 people die.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people die.
And 2 are my grandparents.
I've seen 1 die.
So we're sitting there, and now Jimmy lays down. Now they come down with a golf cart. They put him on a stretcher, and they're laughing on the way I come out. I was so fucking pissed. So anyway,
laughing?
They were laughing. They were just doing their thing, and they didn't give a fuck about him. So they take him away. Now they come to every one of the cells, and they said, they interview you, and they say, "You saw him hit his head." I said, "Fuck you. You killed him as quick as you fucking shoot somebody." Cuff up. They put me in the cuff.
That was you saying that?
Yeah, and I told them, "Fuck you." They were interviewing me.
That was through the hole, though. You had to put your cuffs on.
No.
Right
Had
the door open?
Yeah, right then, because they were just interviewing us. They take me to the hole. They put me in the hole.
Just because you didn't agree with them?
Right. Because I wouldn't fucking believe their bullshit story. I ended up going to the hole. I was beaten once a month. I was strapped down naked. Wow, look at me. I'm fucking getting chills. I was strapped down naked, like this, beaten. Guard took his dick out, peed on my face.
What the fuck?
Spit on me. They kept saying, "Keep writing Senators Law." Look at me. I'm fucking getting...
I see your goosebumps right now.
Fucking
hey, unreal.
That is not right.
They fucking... And I was beaten once a month.
Oh, my gosh.
I was beaten once a month for about 6 months, and I knew they were coming to get me.
Look at those goosebumps right there. You can see it.
I was fucking shocked.
I'm pissed off just hearing about it.
Yeah.
And they're the fucking... you know, I fucking get, and it got me madder and madder. I was fighting them physically, and I couldn't beat them. And I ended up beating them by becoming educated, getting my degree, writing senators, writing lawyers. I'm lucky I had family on the outside, too, that supported me and were writing for me and helping me. And once that happens, then they notice people on the outside. Because let me tell you something, our prison system's so fucking... You know, we have the worst prison system in the free world. That's fact. Yeah. That's not even fucking me saying it. I mean, numbers-wise, abuse-wise, Norway, Germany, France, England, Italy, all Sweden. Normal countries. Sweden. I'm not talking third world countries, fucking, you know, El Salvador or some shit. I'm talking about regular countries. We have the worst prison system in the free world.
Agreed.
And now, that's facts. I mean, I could give you numbers. I can get into this. I've done that. Now, when they did this to me, I ended up getting harder and harder.
Of course.
I was one of these guys that they tried to break me. Matter of fact, we had a guy in the hole across from my cell. He had no legs. And he was a veteran, a black guy, about 50. And they didn't feed him. They let him piss and shit himself. And I had a lieutenant who was in charge of the hole, back up to my door, hold a camera, and say, Lawton, because he knew I was writing senators. If anybody saw this video, somebody in here would be in jail, meaning the administration. So he's trying to get the guy out. This is
so he was helping him.
He was trying to get him out, but they weren't even listening to him. Of course, what do I fucking do? I write the media, I write everybody, and sure enough, they print it. They print a whole article about it. It was in I don't remember. Arctic Beacon. It was the article. Arctic Beacon article, and I explained the whole shit in the article, and it gets published. Boy, did they hate me. Well, I ended up getting out of the hole because I had senators, and I could tell you the senators, everybody, they were fighting, asking for investigations. And once that happens, they get real nervous.
Sure.
So I get out of the hole. Now, when you get out of the hole, you are white as a ghost because you haven't seen sun in fucking months and months. You are like pale as pale can be. Even black guys become white. I mean, that's the way it is. It really is. It's almost like that.
That's probably true, yeah.
It's almost like this. So I'm on the yard, and you could barely walk because
your muscles,
unless
everything. You're exercising.
Oh, no, and we did. Yeah. I got pictures. I'll give you some pictures.
How big's that hole?
Well, 8 by 10.
Okay.
And you never leave. I love that. Oh, you're supposed to get wrecked. They don't give it weather. And they have a great saying in prison. For the safe and orderly running of the institution, we're canceling rec. Well, whatever fuck they say. It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit.
So anyway, I'm on the yard. I'm just trying to stretch. And I was actually smoking a Denable cigar. I'm a cigar smoker. So smoking Denable cigar. And we working. And the associate warden, Lawton, calls me over. I don't give a fuck. Throw me back in the hole. I didn't give a fuck at this point. I go over and he goes, we need you to stop this shit, writing senators. I said, what are you even talking about? He goes, listen, if you stop writing senators, you do everything, we'll give you a what they call a get out of jail free card, which means you can get caught gambling, doing shit in the prison.
Doing whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Give me a single cell, which is like fucking gold in prison.
It's like a suite.
Fucking let me, you live in a single cell. And he goes, and we'll put you in whatever prison you want to go to. And I said, go fuck yourself. Go tell that to the senators.
Ah, yes.
Go tell that to the senators. I walk away.
Yes.
I walk away. I leave. I end up finding out he gets fired. A couple other people got fired. I don't know if they got indicted or whatever because they had an investigation in the prison. And fucking I get transferred. They fuck with me the next person. I was on what they call diesel therapy in prison. Yeah. I was on Con Air 16 times.
16
times. Con Air.
Not like fucking,
it's
what's his name? Con Air. Nicolas Cage.
No. Yeah. This is Con Air where you fucking, I used to tell the young kids coming on Con Air, I said, don't eat that, kid. And they go, what do you mean? Hey, OG. I said, don't eat that. You're going to have to shit on this plane. They ain't fucking taking you out of fucking goddamn cuffs. And you ain't going to shit. I mean, where you going to wipe your fucking ass? It's crazy. So I was on kind of, and they would lose your paperwork, they would lose your legal work, they do everything they fucking do to try. But I'm such a.
Or they just drive you around or fly you around the country and
put you
right back.
Exactly. I was fucking so hard headed. I still am in my own way. If I got it in my head, I'm not gonna fucking quit. You got to kill me, and that's just my nature. And I never quit.
Larry, I feel like you beat the fucking system, man.
I 100% agree.
I don't think I beat the system. No, I exposed the system.
You beat it better than most.
He survived the system.
I survived it too,
and then made a better thing for everyone out there, and exposes the system. And
our system is so broke, Joe. our system.
It's 100% broken.
It really is
100%.
broke. There's, we in the United States don't think about rehabilitation. We think only punishment. And we need to, like I told people who,
So when you got out, tell me that story.
Okay, it's funny because like what I try to tell people is this. I says, listen, yes, you're a harder crime. The guy's fucking committed. I was a bad guy. Yes, you did a lot of time, but you're a criminal. You should be in fucking prison. I said, who do you want coming out of prison? A guy that doesn't give a fuck. He's gonna live next to you. When he can't get a job, he's gonna fucking rob you and kill you. And fucking, or do you want a guy who wants to be a productive member of society, paying taxes, doing everything, wants to help you? Who do you want? Who do you want living next to you? I want the guy that's got hope, who wants to do it, and he wants to do the right thing. I don't want the fucking psychopath coming next to me.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. When you don't give people, and I don't want to hand up. Nobody does. Ex-cons are very, very innovative people. They ran drug company. I mean, they ran drug corners.
They're smart people.
They're smart people. Yeah. Don't think they're stupid. Now, especially in the feds. The feds were the big boys. And I love people say, oh, feds were easier.
See, I already have it up there.
You
just posted a Sopranos thing.
I think one of our posters today.
We got to get a picture under it. The Sopranos way. Yeah.
It's funny because we just posted. I just did a Sopranos review.
Yeah.
It came out today. Today we're taping this.
So if you're going to talk about James Gandolfini, you go.
Oh, that poor guy. Yeah, he died too young. Yeah.
All he does is breathe in the whole fucking
love that
season.
show. I love that show.
That's right.
But he breathes. Anyhow, but you got out.
So, when I got out, I was so institutionalized. This is just a true story. I get out. I was in Forest City, Arkansas. And when I'm in Forest City, Arkansas.
Does anybody know where Forest City, Arkansas is?
Who the fuck knows where Arkansas is? Fuck, sorry, Arkansas. So I get out of Forest City, Arkansas, and I want to get on a bus. I'm going to a halfway house in Tampa, Florida, because there's none in the East Coast. And I want to take a bus without shackles and fucking handings. I want that. So I said, okay, I had money in my account.
They give you $12.
No, $25.
Oh, $25.
You have what you get. That's called gate money. But I had money in my account, so I had like $250 or whatever in my account. So they give you all that cash. So they take you out before they even open the doors at 5 a.m. They take you down. They start processing you. Now I'm going to a halfway house, and I didn't have any clothes coming in. I didn't want any. I wanted to go to real fucking deal. So they give you fucking a jeans, a white shirt, a fucking Bobo sneakers. What the fuck you don't know? But they give me my money, right? So they hand me my money, and the first thing I say to the guy is, "Where do I cash it in?" He looks at me. I go, "What do you mean?" I go, "Where do I cash this in? This is fake money." He goes, "No, it's real money." I said, "Fuck you, give me my fucking money." I swear to God, this guy said.
You were serious.
Oh, I was serious as fucking hard. Remember, I went to prison in 96.
Yeah.
When I got out, money was different, big, colors, all this shit.
Yeah.
None of that shit was around. None of that shit was around. I go, this is fake. This looks like Monopoly money.
Where do I cash it in?
Where do I cash it? Just give me money. They convinced me it's real money. I go, I still didn't trust them. I take the money. They give me a bus pass. They take you down, a bus ticket. They take you down to the fucking stop at 5 to 8. The bus is there at 8. They want you out of there fucking town. So I get on the bus. I sit down. There's a blonde chick. I'll never forget her. So she's sitting down. I go, fuck. So I ain't seen a fucking woman in forever. I said, holy fucking shit. I said, oh shit. No, nothing bad. I sit down next to the girl. She's looking at me. She's gotta be seeing this guy's fucking crazy. So I sit down and I'm
You're
looking.
all tatted up.
And fucking tatted up. I look like I'm still pale as a ghost. I say to the girl, I says, hey, I'll never forget, she has a razor flip phone. I said, can I see that? She looks at me. Who the
she
fuck
gave
says
it to you?
Yeah, if you said, get the fuck. She's looking at this psychopath. She gives me the phone. I'm thinking, how can these fucking fat fingers touch this phone? Now, you got to remember, when I went to prison, I had you remember the gray fucking phone?
It was a Nokia.
Motorola.
And it had like
the big gray phone.
Came in a battery thing. You put it on the thing.
I could have fucking made a commercial, beat somebody and make a phone call because you couldn't break them. You could not break those phones. Yeah. So I'm thinking, well, this is the phone I went to prison with, and this phone here. I said, well, I closed the phone, hung up on whatever the fuck she was. I give it back to her. She's looking at me. I'm doing this. I'm literally raising my hands up and down. I'm free. I'm not in shackles. I'm not like this is how you be in shackles.
She doesn't know what you're doing.
She don't. Next stop, she moves. So I had my own seat for the rest of the day. But here's what happened. So the bus driver says, "All right, we're pulling into to get some gas." He goes, "And you got 40 minutes to get something to eat." Be back on the bus at this time. I go, 40 fucking minutes.
40 fucking minutes.
I says, wait a minute. I says, a gas station, you buy beer, cigarettes, a candy bar. What the fuck? No. We pull into this fucking place, and it's got a fucking Subway, a McDonald's. I go, what the fuck is this shit? Now, I remember Jared, that fat fuck, the fucking one who went to prison. Now, he's getting fucked in prison. He's guaranteed he's getting fucked in prison, which he deserves to be getting fucked in prison. That fucking child molester. So anyway, we're sitting there. I go up on
Everything's changed in
my
11
God,
years.
Listen,
right?
I mean, you got to remember, 96 to 2007.
That's a lot of changes in that year.
Yeah,
So-
11 years.
And I go up online. I got money in my pocket. I want it. Now, anybody who tells you something different is wrong. Anybody who tells you what they miss most in prison is not sex, believe it or not. It's food.
It's not sex.
No, it's, you miss sex, obviously, but it's food. You miss food, real food.
Because you're delivered everything and you don't have a choice.
The food is such fucking garbage. It's
yeah.
the worst of the worst of the worst. And ask anybody what they miss, and anybody who's done any time, you say, food. Yes, sex and all that shit, but food. So we're sitting there, and
Hey, sex is here. You go.
Sex
Hey,
happens
most
in
people
fucking
jerk
2
off
minutes.
more than they have sex, right?
Sure, 2
Right.
minutes.
So you can
Forget it.
jerk off anytime you want.
Listen,
right?
that sandwich lasts longer than
Yeah,
sex.
exactly.
Who you kidding?
Well, not at 1 a.m.
But food, you can't replace food. But sex, you can jerk off to anyone you want, right? It's an imaginary thing, right?
So we're
I
sitting
never
there.
thought about this. So, like food.
Yeah.
Because you're given everything and it's bullshit.
Well, there's no food. The food is so bad. It really is bad in prison. And so I'm online. I want a Subway fucking sandwich. I got money in my pocket.
You're standing in front of a Subway.
I get up online, and I couldn't make a choice.
What do you mean? You couldn't make a choice?
I started shaking. People are looking at me. You feel the
because
pressure.
you've never had to make a choice.
It's called sensory overload.
Is that what it is?
What
Okay.
happens is,
I've heard about this.
this is true. The average person today, all of us here, and everybody in this room, will make 1,500 choices. The average inmate makes 100.
Whoa.
How do you take a guy who makes 100 choices a day? Remember, an inmate doesn't get up and say what he's going to wear, what he's going to eat, what he's going to do. He goes to the chow hall, he gets up, he puts the same clothes on, he does this. There's no choice making. You and I want coffee, I want 2 cups. Larry's coming, I'm going to put booze out, I'm not going to do this. Whatever the fuck you're going to do.
Joe, I've never thought about this.
Think of that.
No.
It's 1,500 choices, and the average inmate makes 1. So I'm looking at this thing, and I fucking freeze. I feel people looking at me. I get nervous. I turn around. I walk onto the bus, and I was crying in the back of the bus. And I didn't eat for 20 hours. And the person that saved my life, because I would have killed somebody, was my cousin, who's a psychologist and a life coach, and one of the closest person in my life. I call her, and she says, Larry, calm down. And I would have wanted to hit you or do something to someone because I was not comfortable as a free person. I end up going back, and she saved my life because I go on the bus, and I didn't feel comfortable until I went to the halfway house. I was locked up again. I was literally locked up again. And then I felt comfortable.
Just hearing Larry's voice here in the last 30 seconds, I saw a change of voice.
100%. I did too.
I felt tears in that fucking voice right there.
tears in my eyes,
That was a
man.
real fucking deal right there.
It's not. It just when I think about
when
that.
you just said that, honestly, you were gonna tear up, and I know you're trying to hide it, but honestly,
Holy shit.
that's fucking amazing.
It's the hardest thing I think people.
You walked out of a fucking Subway because you couldn't figure out.
I couldn't
because
make a
you had
choice.
to
As a free man, and you
and
couldn't
you were
wait to
choking
get-
up right there. I
You
can
couldn't
feel
wait
it.
to get locked up again.
I really want to be locked up. It's so fucked up. You don't. Everybody thinks they can handle. I have a whole program for it, but
Hold on, give me a second.
No
Because
shit, right?
That's
Did you feel that?
everybody,
felt the tears coming out of me.
everybody, and I'll tell you the truth. Everybody thinks reentry is about giving them a house and a job. It's all
No.
about psychology.
Yeah.
It's all about getting that out of your person. When you do that many years, I did over a decade where I'm told what to do, when to do, how to do every fucking day of my life. And now you're telling me, here, you got money, you're in the free world. Go survive.
Larry,
I've known Larry for a long time.
Can't do
I've
it.
never seen that moment we just had today, just now. I'm telling you right now. Larry's always been the cool fucking mafia motherfucker. I love this guy, Uncle Larry. When I just saw this now,
But
that's
Joe,
that's
it's not. I think about me doing it.
No, I saw.
But as an educated man,
It's people
I think
being
about
people.
how about the guy
who's
not
everyone else doing
educated?
it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or doesn't have support.
how many
Exactly.
I
millions
had a lot of
of
support.
Americans that are released that are feeling the same way that you just did?
So
Like
many.
it made me tear up
Amazing.
because I'm like, holy shit, man!
So many.
Nobody even realizes what these people go through after being incarcerated for 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
I get both ends of that. I get it that people want hardness, and I get all that.
Powerful.
I don't get. It's funny you were talking about that. That makes me funny. This will make you laugh, and it's kind of in the same realm. So we get to the halfway house, right? And I got money, and the halfway house gives you 4 hours to go get hygiene items. Okay, 4 hours. If you told me today,
4 hours to go to Walgreens?
yeah, exactly Walgreens. He says, listen, if you told me today, Larry, you got 4 hours to go get hygiene items, I'd go, I'd play 2 holes of golf, I'd fuck 2 women, I'd fucking come home, I'd have a beer at the bar, I'd get my fucking shit, and I'd be back. This is what happens. I go to Walgreens. The first thing I look at is 30 fucking choices of toothpaste. Now, in prison, you have 3 days to pick AIM or Colgate off a commissary list. And you figure out your money, you do this. 3 days. Now I'm looking at this wall of of toothpaste. What the fuck do I buy? How much money do I got? Oh my God, I don't have enough. How long is it gonna last? You don't have a job. You don't have anything. So I end up buying $5. It was $4.20 something cents. I think 25, 26, whatever it was. I go to the counter. I give her the items. She takes it, puts it in a bag, gives me my receipt, and she says, thank you. And I gave her a $5 bill. I look at her and I said, where's my fucking money? I thought she was beating me for my 26 cents or 74 cents, whatever it was. It was at the end. It came down.
A little chase.
Now, they didn't have that when I went to prison.
Yeah.
I end up finding out, I go back, the guy tapped me on the shoulder, I was going to hit him. Fuck, everybody's like, what the fuck, this guy's nuts. I end up getting the shit. I get back to the halfway house. Again, I'm more comfortable. And I find out, do you know how many ex-cons left their shit at the fucking Walgreens? Because they something happened and they got nervous.
Got the fuck out. Yeah.
They got nervous. They skidded.
Dude, my mouth is hanging open right now
because
you don't
people
think about
don't
that.
understand institutionalization. I was institutionalized. Even though I read the paper, got educated, got a degree, all this, I was institutionalized. Totally institutionalized. And people don't understand what institutionalization is. When you do something over, it takes you 3 weeks to make a habit. It takes you 6 months to break it. Do something for 12 fucking years or 11 years I was in for straight. I had 12-year sentences. You do something for that long, it takes you a long time to unwind from that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Totally. And people don't get institutionalization. People don't get what happens to people when they're in prison. Now, the goal is, obviously, let me explain this, though. Everybody thinks, I'm no liberal heart, meaning there are people I was in prison with. I know people who cut people's heads off, literally cut people's heads off, cut them off. I know people I never want to see get out and live next to you or me,
Sure,
or my mother. They're fucking psychopaths. They will kill you as quick as and go back to bed. I've seen a guy do that. So my point is, there are people in prison that are crazy or nuts,
Sure,
or whatever, and I don't want to see them out.
There.
Yeah, but there's so many who made mistakes, who were drug dealers. I was with even the big drug dealers. They needed the wake up call. They're gonna change. You know what I tell people? They say, people don't change. Let me ask you a question. When you were 20, you think you know it all. Oh fuck, I'm smart as fuck. You hit 30, you look back and you go, man, I was a moron at fucking 20. When you hit 40, you look back and you say, fuck, I was still stupid at 30. When you hit 50, you look back and go, fuck, am I ever going to learn anything? I'm 60. I'm saying, what the fuck? I'm still learning every day. So we change our political views, our life views. Yeah. Things change, usually for the better, because we become educated, calmer. You want to educate your son. You want to educate people around you. So you have more experience. I always tell people, I'm not smarter than anybody, high IQ or not. I have a high IQ, but it's not about the IQ. It's about experience. I have more experience in a place you don't want to go, period.
Correct.
Your son, you, and not many people have more experience than I have, and able to relay it or talk about it and stuff like that.
So you went to prison for nonviolent crimes.
No, I was violent.
You were.
Yeah. I was robbing people. I was tying people up. I was putting guns in their faces.
We're going to get to that here real quick here.
Oh, but, you had to? Yeah,
I love it because I love this story coming up here that I'm gonna provoke you with, because I listened to this story 3 times and I'm like, oh my God, you are brilliant on how you rob these jewels.
Well, the book is freaking wild. you will be able to rob a jewelry store after you read the book.
I was just telling my son about. Oh, sorry,
that
man.
book.
There it is. I
What is that book again?
The book right here is called Gangster Redemption.
Oh yeah,
Phenomenal book.
And
you'll be able to rob a jewelry store. Not to it. You will get caught.
So give us the step by step how you rob these jewelry stores in broad daylight.
Well, no. First of all, you don't just rob them. You case them for long periods of time.
This story is so great.
You case jewelry stores for weeks sometimes. I mean, I will know who's coming, when the postman's coming, when the UPS man's coming, who's coming, what cars they're riding, when the sun rises, when the sun sets, so the sun hits the glass, so you can't look in, but I could look out. There's so many variables to a robbery, and my first robbery was a setup. Was a jewelry setup.
You never set out to be a jewelry robber.
No. When I robbed my first one, I got 150,000 cash in the bag. I said, "This is fucking good shit. 150 fucking grand. I'm in." So I robbed. Then I started saying, "Wait a minute. I fucking got it. This is great money." Then I started robbing them on my own. I had the outs with the mobsters to get rid of my jewelry. Nobody ever went to.
So did you have to pay your boss when you robbed these?
I paid him, yes, in my own way. I didn't say, I gave him what was legit. I didn't fuck my bosses. I could have, but why would you do that? And chance fucking somehow the fence knows the brother-in-law or someone says, "Oh no, Larry got $500,000 out of that, and he only gave you 10 grand. You know, why would you do that? And all of a sudden, you're dead.
Yeah.
You know, you ain't fucking walking away. That's not a meeting that says, "Okay, you're fired. Go work at fucking goddamn Walmart." You know, fucking, no. It ain't happening. You're fucking not doing that. You're dead. You know, you got the protection of a specific family. Matter of fact, funny story. I'm with my family, the Gambinos, and we're at a fucking, now, I'm doing well. So I'm really doing well. And Mike the Bandit, one of our crew guys, he says to me, he goes, "Larry, you got to come to me with your fucking," he's a made man. He goes, "You got to come to me with my diamonds." I'm going, "Fucking Mike, I don't give a fuck. You know, you got to keep it in house." And I was
Is that how he sounded?
Yeah. And listen, it's funny because I was getting my diamonds through the Genovese family. And
another boss family.
And I set that all up. And I end up going to Dominic, my boss, and say, "Hey, Dom, I got a problem."
Wait, his name is Dominic?
My boss was Dom. The big boss was Dom. He actually,
God, how cliche is that?
He actually worked for Paul Castellano.
Oh, no
I mean, the Paul Castellano. And
I'm
actually,
going to shut the fuck up.
So listen, so he goes like this to me. He goes, I said, Dom, he's fucking Dom was a captain. And I said, "Hey, Dom, I got a problem. I'm making a lot of money for people." And he says, "It's all about money." And I said, "Dom, I got a problem. Fucking Mike's busting my chops. I got a fucking good thing set up." And he goes, "I'll take care of this." So we used to go every Friday night. We used to go to fucking.
I'll take care of this. I love that voice.
We used to pull up to a place called La Polina's restaurant on I think it was West 8th Street in Brooklyn, and you talk about out of the fucking suit. We'd pull our cars up on the fucking sidewalk right near the exit. We had a table in the corner. We could get out the exit. It was fucking crazy. So we're sitting there, and we used to go every Friday. I used to come up and play gin with Dominic and the bosses and my boss Willie, and we'd be playing gin for money and shit. And I used to come up. I was like, they knew I was a hitter, meaning you wanted someone punched out, knocked out, whatever you would, leave it at that.
Sure.
So we're sitting. I'd be up there and fucking. We're sitting around a big table. Now it's me, Joey, a couple guys all around. About 8 of us, 9 of us. Now we're drinking. We used to drink espresso out of the fucking pots, the old pots, and fucking. So Dominic goes. Once he does that, everybody shuts up. He goes, "Nobody here deals with Larry but me." I'm like laughing my balls off inside. Now Bandit's a made die. I'm not. And oh shit! But he couldn't do shit about it, man. And I'm laughing about it today because he wanted to get in on my action, and I had such a fucking good thing going. Why fuck it up? And Dominic knew that. I'm giving Dominic envelopes of 40 grand, 50 fucking grand, 30 grand, every fucking 3 times a year for nothing. Hey kid, Dominic walking fucking. He was a little guy. Oh, you don't want to. He actually worked for Albert Anastasia. Albert Anastasia was Murder Incorporated. And Dominic worked for him back in the fucking
Murder
50s.
Inc.
Murder Inc. Albert Anastasia back in the 50s.
Not John Rule, Murder Inc.
Dominic was a fucking killer, man. You didn't want to fuck with this little motherfucker. I had fucking to sit down one time because I smacked some guy, boy. He come in. You didn't want to fuck with Dominic. But anyway, so he had my back because it was all about money.
Yeah.
About money, man. Don't let anybody kid you. Everything's about money in the mob. And I learned that not only going to prison, I learned that even beforehand, but it's all about money. Everything's about money. And that's okay. I mean, listen, the world revolves around money. I get that part of it.
Yeah.
So it's just Mike the Bandit was so fucking mad for so long. He couldn't do shit about it. Because once Dominic said that, ain't nobody fucking touching me. Nobody. And it
So
was
you
like
were untouchable
untouchable at that point.
as not a made person because you're not Italian.
No, right. Because of this. Because of money.
Yeah.
Because of money.
So some of the mafia movies that we watched are correct in that aspect that people who are earners,
Absolutely.
are untouchable sometimes, especially if they're big earners.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, you got to remember, I'm making people a lot of money.
Yeah.
And doing the right thing by people I know. I'll tell you a good story that Willie and Dominic actually tested me. I'm doing very well in Florida. I'm in South Florida. Homes, boats, horses. Fuck my own clubhouse, my own limousine.
Keep fucking me up
and
with
driver.
the horses, man.
You
don't look like
that's
a
a
horse
funny
guy.
fucking story. You're gonna get me off on that horse story. That's a great story because I call up Tom and I'm gonna go off on that fucking story. Okay, I'll do that right after this. So I'm making a lot.
love him.
I'm making a lot of money.
It's fucking
right?
phenomenal.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
he's great.
Listen, I'm making a lot of money, right? So I'm doing well. I get a phone call from Willie. He says, "Be up here tomorrow at 8 in the morning."
Who's Willie?
Willie was my direct boss, the maid guy.
Okay.
Worked for, of course, Dominic. He says, "Be up here at 8 in the morning tomorrow." Okay? I don't say why. What do you need me? What do you do? I get a fucking plane ticket. Now, this is back in the day. You can go to an airport and put cash down and just fucking go on a plane.
Before 9/11.
Yeah. So I fucking go on there. I end up fucking giving him money. I get there. The first thing that happens, a guy in My Way Cab Service was the one we owned, the mob's owned. Guy picks me up at the airport, in Kennedy Airport, and he gives me a pistol because that's the first thing I wanted.
Right.
And I'm fucking cursing the whole way, fucking back, motherfucking Belt Parkway. I hate this fucking place. But he's worried I'm gonna kill him. He knows I have a bad reputation. So they drop me off at the bar. I start playing gin with Dominic and the crew, and we're just sitting around. Nothing said. I don't say a fucking word. Friday night comes, we go to dinner over at La Polina's restaurant. Then afterwards, we have an apartment above the place. We do that. We hang out. Saturday comes, we party, drink. Sunday, Willie says, "Hey, have a great trip back." Not one word was ever fucking said. I never said a word either. And 6-8 months, a year later goes by. I go, "Hey, Willie, what the fuck do you guys call me up that time, man? Wasted my weekend." He goes, "You were tested, but you passed. They wanted to see how big you were for your britches. Will you listen?" And he was right. I did that with a guy who worked for me. I had a deal with the guy, my crew. I said, if you remember beepers back in the day?
Yeah, I had one.
Right.
Motorola pagers.
Right.
Yeah.
I told my crew, if you don't answer my beeper, you better be dead or in jail.
Yeah.
Dead or in jail.
100%.
So one time at 4 a.m, I called Junior. He'll tell you the story. And he doesn't answer my beeper. Motherfucker, okay. I go to the clubhouse that I had built. He's sleeping on the bed, a pull-out couch. I take a .357 out of my fucking belt and I fucking threw 3 bullets right next to his house. Big fucking gun. Boom, boom, boom. He fucking almost flies to the fucking ceiling. He's crying.
Yeah, I would be too.
He's fucking crying. I said, "You didn't answer my phone." He was fucking shaking. I don't blame him. But I learned that lesson from Willie. Because, loyalty, money could screw loyalty up.
Sure.
And people don't get that. And I understand that big time. And I was getting bigger and bigger because I was making more money and stuff.
Yeah.
But I still understood where I had to have protection. Because I don't care how big you get. You're not going to get big enough to where they can't fucking take you out or do everything. But, what made me laugh, you said the horses. I'm home watching Lonesome Dove. Remember the fucking movie Lonesome Dove, the TV show? Robert Duvall and all this shit. So I called Tom, he works for me. I said, "Tommy, get the car. We're going to buy a horse." He goes, "What track's it going on?" I said, "Oh, it's a fucking horse." He goes, "What fucking track?" I said, "Just get the fucking." He goes, "Is it a trotter?" I said, "Just get the fucking car." So he comes to he gets to the house, he picks me up. Here I am in a fucking Lincoln. We got fucking, Ballers of Switzerland, slacks. I said, "We're going to buy a horse. There's a place down near, in Davie, Florida. And there's a place I saw that looked like a KKK ranch, but it was a Christian ranch. Had 3 crosses and had horses for sale." So I walk in, I pull in there with a fucking you got to picture this. Fucking 2 Brooklyn fucking guys walk
gangsters.
in
Yeah.
and say to him, "Hey, listen, I want to buy a horse." Guy's looking at it. What what the fuck? These guys
All
lost.
I'm thinking is Pyomide.
Right, where he's
Fucking Sopranos.
He's thinking, what the fuck is going on? And I said, listen, here's the deal. I want to buy a horse, but you have to teach me to ride it. I just saw Lonesome Dove, the fucking movie. The guy's thinking, well, this fucking guy's crazy. Not only do I buy a horse, I buy 2 fucking horses, saddles, fucking a trailer. It cost me $25,000. I leave the fucking place. And I had them house the horses and fucking, you know, clean and muck the stall. But I loved them. They were riding horses. Riding horses, not racers. I had a racehorse once. We lost our balls on that. But fucking, you know, it was just something we did, you know. You try everything. You try everything. You try.
When you have that type of money, you have to.
You know what? It was crazy because you don't. First of all, we were too young. But then again, John Gotti said this, and this is a true statement.
You know John Gotti?
I met him a couple of times. I don't know,
so you knew John Gotti?
Oh, I knew of him very well. I mean, I worked for him technically. He had a temper out the fucking ass. You didn't want to fuck with his temper. John Gotti said this: any gangster who has a 401k plan, I'll kill him.
Because they're on the government.
Because you're not retiring.
Yeah.
What the fuck you need your money for?
Yeah.
What do you mean you need to put it? Because if you got $5 million in the bank over here, you know you're gonna fucking snitch.
This is the name of this episode. If you need a 401k plan,
you're dead.
You're dead. I'm going to name this the episode.
That's a true statement, he said. I saw John Gotti in a restaurant. We were in Little Italy. And I'm with my crew, you know, our crew now. He's at another table, and he didn't know me. Like, you know, hey, Larry. No, I was a little fucking peon. But anyway, John Gotti had a temper, man. I saw it. Do you guys know what espresso is? You know espresso?
Yeah, like coffee? And
the espresso coffee. You know when you ask for Sambuca?
Yep.
You know they put 3 beans in it? You know what they mean?
I don't.
When they put 3 beans in a coffee, it means health, wealth, and happiness. So if you put 2 beans in there, you're trying to tell you, fuck you on one of them. Well, some poor waiter puts 2 beans in a fucking coffee. John Gotti takes this glass and throws it across the fucking room. Now, we're at another table. Fucking police gets fucking inside. Who the fuck's it? The fucking owner's there. Fucking shit is fucking bad. This poor kid I felt so bad for. He's like, you know, 25-year-old kid. He's a waiter. He fucking, you know, a mistake. It was a stupid mistake, but in Vincent's is an Italian restaurant, literally. He throws the fucking glass. You motherfucker. I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's temper just went fucking talking to people to a fucking like a lightning. I'm like, holy shit. And I'm just sitting there like fucking, I'm with Dominic.
And it was a mistake.
See, when Gotti killed Castellano, that was a very tough period in the mob because like my boss was loyal to Castellano. Now he had to be loyal to Gotti. You know, it's just the way it was because they didn't know what was going on. And that's just that time of a period. That's when Gotti get, you know, remember you'd Spark Steakhouse and all that bullshit. But my boss was a powerful guy, and that crew, our crew was we were a money-making crew. You know, everybody where we were at were money-making crews. There were certain crews that were money-makers, some were not.
Yeah.
Some were harder, some were killers, we were money-makers, you know.
Union people and everything else as well.
Exactly. Had the union. Sammy Gravano had all the unions locked up and all that kind of stuff. So there are different things on different teams, if you want to call it. But they all had to come in line. I mean, don't let anybody kid you. There's a hierarchy. There's a respect. There's a hierarchy. Obviously, you know, you can go look back and say where the fuck ups happened. Who knows? Fucking, you know, the government wants you. The government's gonna get you. They gave fucking. I told you, Sammy Gravano 19 murders and they get him off. Give me a fucking break. 19 fucking murders and they let the fucking guy off. So I don't care what you say. I mean, you know how you can justify that. Will ever get.
So the last story I want to hear you tell is how you.
Wow, how long we been going?
Almost 2 hours.
An hour and 27 minutes.
Because I got to piss.
You can piss if you want, man.
Can I go piss?
I already pissed. Yeah, go back there and piss.
I had to piss. These beers. Can you shut me down for a second? We'll end it. Whatever you want.
God damn, I got to celebrate.
It is your birthday.
Besides your basement, you know.
It is your birthday, man. I love it, man.
Studio.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That's Boob McNutt, by the way. So this was
Are we live now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're ready
rolling?
to go.
We're rolling, Joe.
So here's the deal.
Don't fuck up.
This was my grandparents' house that I inherited, and my grandfather always had a bar in the basement. And this guy terrorized me my entire life because I didn't know what the hell he was. And my grandfather always says, "That's Boob McNutt," and he scared the shit out of me.
Whose idea was this setup?
That was my grandfather's.
No, the setup. I don't mean the bar, like the studio setup.
Mine. Yeah.
Good idea.
It's a nice studio, isn't it? Yeah.
You know, it's easy. It's comfortable. It's easy the way you put it up.
Yeah.
And set it up.
And it doesn't
good
make you feel like you're in somebody's home. Like, it makes you feel
I
like.
don't care where you're at. I've done interviews in cars, but it's, you know, it's just comfortable. It's not, you know, it's not. I've been in uncomfortable studios.
Well, I'm glad
I was
that you
at
feel
Fox
comfortable.
Studios a lot, and they have so much production. What the fuck is this shit? You know, this is just right, and you got 4 cameras. That's a big time.
Thank you, man.
That's big time.
Dude, I appreciate you. We got Larry Lawton here on the GXP podcast. Yay. I want to hear one more story about how you went into a jewelry store and tied up some people and then sold people some fucking jewelry.
Sold people?
Didn't you? I thought you were acting as like a customer or the salesman. Yeah.
You're talking about how I did it, not how I sold people.
No,
I didn't sell people.
You still robbed them.
I took them a gun out, put it in their face, and tied them all up and fucking. I once tied 10 people up. That's a funny story.
People.
We're in a store now. You're gonna like it. So we go into a store, and now I love the stores that have the buzzers. You know, you walk in and that's great. It stops idiots. You know what the buzzer stops? The crackhead that's fucking coming in. We call them smash and grabs. I was a professional, so when I had that door that was buzzed, that's good for me, so I know who's coming in.
Right.
So we go into this jewelry store, Sunrise, Florida. Or was it Sunrise or Fort Lauderdale? I don't know which one it was. So we go down there, and I go in, and I take down the crew, and there's 3 or 4 people, and I take them all down. I tie them up with zip ties, and I never gag people because I didn't want people to die or anything of that nature.
What if they yelled?
They weren't yelling. Are you fucking kidding me?
You're right.
Fucking yell. I tell you not to yell with a fucking gun in your face. You yelling? No. Never.
I'm not gonna yell.
No. You're shutting up or pissing your pants. So we're sitting there. I tie up the people. All of a sudden, there's a knock on the door. They want to come in. They come in. I open my jacket. I got the guy. I'm in suit and tie. You're in a robbery. Come on. I ran out of fucking flex cuffs. I got 10 people in the fucking store. This is funny because there was a jerk off in there. There was a guy in there who was like mouthing off. I go, who the fuck is this guy? So I go up to the guy. I pull his wallet out. I'm thinking, is he a cop or something? And he's nothing. And I take off a bracelet he has. And it's a Fugazi. You know what Fugazi means? Fake.
Yeah.
It's a Fugazi bracelet. I go, and it was funny because he's not a cop. I take his wallet, keep his ID, I throw it at him. I take his gold band he had on, and it's a Fugazi. I go, you fucking fake motherfucker. And the fucking owners of the 2 jewelry store ladies and the guy start laughing because this guy thought he was a big shot coming in and he was a fake. This guy was a fake. I took everything fucking out of that whole store and I said, you can keep your fake fucking shit. This funny fuck. But, you know, I tied up over 100 people, you know, in probably 100 people in stores. And listen, I want to emphasize this. I'm not ever proud of what I did in that end of it. You know, I mean, I put fear. I didn't hurt people. You know who hated me? The insurance companies.
Sure.
They hated me. The FBI said that. They couldn't get people to come against me. He goes, boy, the insurance companies wanted you bad. You know, because I was caught by the FBI. I wasn't caught by the local jokels, you know. Can you imagine fucking Iowa City trying to catch me? Get the fuck out of here, Iowa City. Or fucking goddamn Cedar Rapids. Are you fucking kidding me? I done fucking took over the town. But it's funny because, you know, the FBI said, listen, I didn't hurt people, but you do put fear in them. You do put, you know, I mean, people had to live with that. But they got to get over it. You know, I had to forgive myself in my own way. And I've that I did put harm on people that, you know, they're facing that. But, you know, in life, you got to get over shit. I mean, I had to get over being pissed on. I had to get over being all my abuses. And again, I'm not mad. I think we could change systems. I actually help jewelry stores now try to prevent robberies from professionals. Like, you know, it's easy to prevent the crackhead. It's hard to prevent me.
When they have big robberies, they put him on like NBC, whatever.
Did you know, Joe? I actually called every major robbery. They had. Remember when Kim Kardashian was robbed?
Yep.
I called how it was done.
Yep. He was
4
on
months
national
later.
TV.
Oh, I'm on all the time.
They get him on there like, hey, what happened? He fucking calls it out and does.
And I've never been wrong so far.
No.
The biggest robbery. Well, they had $1 billion.
Because he knows. He
136 million in France. The guy walked in with a briefcase. People go, why do you rob jewelry? Because I could put $100 million in a briefcase and walk out. You know how much $100 million would weigh? Forget it. It's fucking tons. You
It's
couldn't do it. You need
5 foot-
forklifts.
5 foot wide.
Oh,
Yeah, you
you
gotta
need
put it on a
forklifts.
pallet. Yeah.
Right. Now, don't get me wrong. Cash is king. I might get 30%, but okay. At 136 million, give me 30% at 40 million. Try to carry 40 fucking million. I'm taking out in a briefcase. The guy did that. 136 million in France in a hotel in Paris. I called how they did it, and they ended up figuring out exactly how they did it. And I did it because, look, again, I robbed so much. I know about business so well because, first of all, how do you get rid of it? That's the key.
Yeah, you gotta have buyers.
There was a robbery. I remember being out of prison now.
You got to have people.
So I'm out of prison, and Tiffany's in New York was robbed for $5 million. And they catch the fucking guy because he sold a $30,000 diamond in Harlem for fucking crack or whatever the fuck he sold it for. I said, what fucking morons. I would have gave him $1 million for that fucking load. Get the fuck out of the way. I would have got $2 million for the load. I would have made $1 million because he didn't have the out. The key in the jewelry business is have the fence. It's called a fence.
Yep.
Is to have the out. And if you don't have that out, you're going to get caught.
So everything that we see in movies here is bullshit then? No?
No.
Like people come down and like Tom Cruise style and like rob shit like
You
that?
don't know. You don't see that.
Or
They
entrapment
well,
or
let me
anything like-
let me tell you. Great question. They got a gang. They call them the Pink Panther Gang. They're out of England and they're still around. They fucking do these brazen robberies. Go through a mall with fucking speed cars and fucking crash walls and fucking and get away. They're called the Pink Panther Gang. Very, very. They're all very loyal, very technical. They hit it on their timing. They do it, and they're still around to this day.
Really?
Called the Pink Panther. Look them up. Google them. Anybody out there,
check
Google
it.
them up.
You're referring to like the George Clooney and the Brad Pitt,
Like entrapment, like all that. So like,
Well, they
that's
did
not
that in
real.
England. No, they did that in England. They went through a wall, got into the safes. They did. I mean, that does happen, but it.
But that's not how you robbed it.
No. First of all, in any of those robberies, it takes money to make money. I mean, you know how much it would take to put a crew together to do this and get the equipment to go through all that? I mean, it's like a lot of money. I mean, if I had that kind of money, why am I going to rob? I mean, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't robbing 100. My biggest robbery I was going to rob was going to be $15 million, and that was out of the Bow Harbor Mall in, not Bow Harbor Mall, the H. Stern Jewelers in Bow Harbor, Florida. I was going to rob an H. Stern Jewelry. Then I ended up going down to the Fontainebleau Hotel. There was an H. Stern Jewelry. I was so close to robbing it. I was going to put dynamite on the people, and I was going to fucking. I was going to listen. It's in the book too. It's a great story. I was going to put a kidnap. Actually, went to the house in Hollywood, Florida, and fucking was waiting behind the bushes. We were going to kidnap the family and keep them there, and fucking get the guy because the timer, the safes, and everything. I had it really planned, and it was about a $14 million job. And I talked to my crew. I said, "Listen, I'm coming in with about $14 million. I want $4 million. Okay, lad, you got it. You come 14, they were going to give me $2 million up, and I was going to get out of the country, and then another million and another million in a month and a month. I never did it, thank God, because first of all, the statute of limitations would have never ran out because it's kidnapping.
Right.
There's certain crimes that, like, I don't give a fuck about talking because the statute of limitations are up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The government knows.
And you didn't do it. Yeah.
And I didn't do it, and the government knows, I'm saying. So in that regard, I get it. Now, I used to plan the big ones. Obviously, when I planned jobs, it was very, very, we couldn't play around. You didn't party, you didn't go to bars. You stayed in the hotel. Everything was cash. It was none of this. You need an ID.
No paper trail.
Never a paper trail. My crew knew. I was so hard with my crew. I remember once after doing
How many
a job,
people in your crew?
3 or 4, depending on what we're doing. I would fucking put a gun to their head and say, "You fuck around, I'll kill you both."
Would you kill him?
Whatever I think back then I would have.
Yeah.
Back then I would have. Now, no. I mean, I'm not doing anything now, I'm not killing anybody here. Wait a minute. What are we fucking talking about over here?
He just
I
saying,
didn't ask if you killed anybody. I'm just asking, would you have killed him?
I think back in those days I would have. Yeah.
Yeah?
I do. I definitely think I would.
Yeah?
They knew I was for real because I was a little psychopath in that regard.
Yeah.
I had no.
Nothing to lose at that point.
Yeah, I always thought I was going to die by 50. And look at me, 60. So I'm on great time.
So Larry, with this final thought here, of all the people that are looking at,
Thanks for the beers.
oh man, of course, man, of all the people out there that are thinking about doing mischievous things or anything else, what is the best advice that you can give everybody?
I'm glad you said that. That's a great ending. Listen, I lived a crazy life, and I'm one of the lucky ones. There's so many who didn't make it
You're
out.
not dead.
Not dead or in jail for life.
Right. And
You know,
and you were in the mob.
I'm glad you said, because there's so many people think the easy way is the right. You know who I respect today? The worker. Your son, who's going to find a career in what he's doing. You, what you're doing. Joe, what he's doing. I really do respect those people. My dad and mom were hardworking people. They didn't make much, but they made a living. They raised people, and they did the right thing. I lived a crazy life. I would never recommend it for anybody. I think if you use your brains, and I think if young people think about what they want to do, enjoy what they do, and they'll find something that, it's hard to tell a person, oh, you don't give a shit about money. I had limousines and homes and stuff. So money never made me happy, and I learned that. That's why I'm not chasing money now, and I'm making money now.
And now you're making it.
Yeah, a lot more. I make a lot of money doing what I do, but it's because I'm not chasing it.
Yeah.
And when I chased the limousine, and it never made me happy. My sister used to tell me, she was a Christian girl. She passed away with cancer, but she used to say to me, Larry, you're not happy. You have horses, homes, boats, multiple houses, everything, and you're not happy. And she was right. I don't know what I was chasing. I'm sure I don't. I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, meaning I believe that there's so much bullshit out there. Fuck, I've seen it all. So, and I think if people find their own path and enjoy what they do, I don't care if it's radio, I don't care if you make a little money, you make a lot of money. If you find that path and you find that happiness when you're happy at night, I'm a happy guy now, I really am. And that's a big difference. And I like to party, I like to have fun, I like to do the right thing, I like to hang with Joe. And that's why I love what Joe does. And I want to keep supporting guys that, listen, Be Like Joe should be in every fucking city in this country.
100%.
And I'm glad, and I want to thank you for helping him.
Yes, of course.
And keep an eye. And we'll make a point when I come back. We'll do this all the time.
Yeah, we'll do it again, man.
Absolutely.
Will you be back on?
I will guarantee I'll be on. And I say it, it'll be happening.
So here's the deal. I've always been fascinated with mob stories and movies and everything, right? But to sit down with somebody who has lived it and have my son here that has listened to it has opened my eyes more than anything, because I got emotional hearing about you getting, back into the community after being incarcerated for 11 years. And this was probably, honestly, Joe, thank you so much. And Larry, thank you so much for coming on. One of the best podcasts I've ever been a part of.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Oh my God. This was so great.
And it's just two guys rapping.
Oh, we're just hanging out.
We're having a good time. It's my birthday, and for my birthday, I asked Larry. I said, Larry, I got a buddy that wants to do a podcast.
That's what he said to me. He goes,
I said, you know what? It'd be great for my birthday. I'd love to do this because this guy is cool as shit.
And he said that. And I said to him,
cool
Joe, what are you
shit.
talking about? He goes, because I get asked all the time. He goes, it's a small podcast. I said, if you want it, Joe, I'll do it for you. Whatever you want to do. That's exactly what I said. And my team knows that. They know that. And you know what? These are the podcasts that actually reach to the people that are interested. Well, and before you know it, that's how they grow.
The reason why I asked him, because he has such a great story with his book, and it helped my son out. And what I've been doing in the community with trying to help people out, it's all in the same concord. So
you got a good thing going here, and you got to keep going. Well, you can tell you've been around for a while.
Thank you.
You can tell.
Oh my God, you guys are so amazing! And please come back on next time you're in Iowa.
Listen, you bring me another turkey, I'm coming.
I tell you what, man, you can stay at my house anytime because I ain't got shit to rob. So
listen, I can't do it without going to Devin and doing TikTok.
Yeah. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. Joe Sample, thank you so much. Larry Lawton,
Larry,
we
good
got
podcast.
Silence over there.
Thank you, everybody.
And Joni, and my son Sander Lee. He is amazing, and thank you so much.
Right there, Dad.
I appreciate you guys.
Right there.
Yeah, there he
is.
is.
There you go.
Yeah.